Good morning, everyone. So welcome to a coffee corner. Normally coffee corner is at 6:45 on Wednesdays, but I am procrastinating. I went to be starting on some housework today, but I wanted to kind of come in and chat with you guys a little bit this morning. See if anyone else is awake. But I hope you all had a enjoyable weekend. I know that for our military, our Gold Star families, it was not an enjoyable weekend. It was a time that they spent missing their loved ones. And I know that it's become not just a holiday about our servicemen and women, but I know a lot of families remember their loved ones who have passed on as well. So I hope you had at least an okay weekend. I know for us, yesterday was really hard. We had lunch with mom and dad. It's been a very weird May and now June. Hello, Jacqueline. Welcome in. It's it is currently in the 50s, 50s, 60s. I'm actually running heat in June because it's cold. So it's been raining and just rainy for like the past week. And so it's it's still wet outside. Unfortunately for those who are out camping and stuff this weekend, they got some wet instead of some fun hot dry. So anyway, we grilled out in the rain. We had lunch. We took flowers out to the cemetery, and that was kind of the end of our day. It was just kind of spent quiet here at home. One, for the holiday. Two, making sure that Sam was going to be good and ready for work today. We are continuing on the medical stuff with him, and his next appointment is on June 11th. Today I have to call the doctor because he was supposed to have some medication put in, but the doctor didn't put it in. So we're like, okay. Because like, oh, we'll be out of town, we can pick it up on Tuesday. Hey, Christy, do you want to come and hang out with me, or are you get busy ready for work? And the doctor's like, no, I don't want you to wait until Tuesday to pick it up. The only reason we were gonna wait till today was because by the time we got into and did the IV and got out, the local pharmacies were gonna be closed. And Sam's like, well, why don't you send it to Dylan's? And so the doctor's like, oh, okay, I'll send it to Dylan's. And when we went to Dylan's, it wasn't there. Okay, so we checked a couple days later, still wasn't there. So we're not quite sure why he was so insistent that Sam started right that day, and then didn't put in the order for it. Oh well, so. But I will say that the 3 steroid IVs that Sam did have helped tremendously. They not only helped his legs, but other places that he was hurting. On Sunday, literally, we woke up about, okay, I take that back. I woke up about 6. Sam slept in, which was nice for him because he never hardly sleeps in. And we woke up about 9. And then we went to Wendy's and grabbed breakfast. We came back. Sam laid back down. I watched Lolita Loca, which is a cruising YouTuber, and I played Emoji Blitz until noon. And Sam slept the whole time. So I sent you the link, Christy. It was like he goes, "What time is it?" I go, "Noon. Are you hungry?" And he's like, "Kinda. That's what woke me up." And I'm like, "Well, one, I can imagine that because I thought a grizzly bear had made its way into the house." So I he's like, "I better stay awake, otherwise I won't sleep tonight." And so he went still went to bed fairly early. Um, but then yesterday he slept in until about 8:30. So I mean, normally he's awake at a normal time because it's like I hurt. My body hurts, so I wake up. And the fact that he got good rest for 2 days in a row thrills me. That gives me hope that the steroids will continue to help, and whatever medication the neurologist puts him on in a couple weeks will also help. So we will probably do some sort of live stream um, in regards to, like, once we know from the doctor what's going on and um, what avenues the doctors want to do, um, we'll talk more about it. For those of you who don't know, Sam has early onset MS. He was diagnosed with that in 2015. We spent all of 2016 going to the doctor. And they're like, "Well, at this point in 2016, it's too early to put you on any form of medication because it's too early for that yet. When you start, if you start feeling worse, you obviously need to come back and see us. But right now, it's not progressing enough to need medication." So fast forward to 2021, and Sam's legs just weren't handling it anymore. And so they're not super concerned yet. It's not like, okay, we're going to put you in a wheelchair. One, I think Sam would literally, fight that. But two, it's kind of just, it's something that we knew was coming. And Peaches has been very upset lately. I don't know, like, literally, we can hand her anything, and she'll sit and yell at us. And we're like, "What is wrong?" Like, no, it's not like she's in pain because, like, we've, like, made sure that she's not hurt or injured. She's literally just yelling about everything. Good morning, beautiful.
Hey. I'm going to grab my light. Well, I guess I don't really need it. The light's decent from the window.
Say, I didn't. Come here. You want to say hi? Or you just want to yell? No, I just want to yell. That is my life today.
I am also working, but I'm here.
Yay. I'm just doing a quick morning coffee talk before I start tackling my housework for the day.
I think you should continue to do your coffee chats every day. If you want to do them every day, but I think you should.
You think I should do a coffee corner every day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My coffees, they're normally scheduled for like 7 a.m.
So I'm up at 7 a.m. I'm up at like 4:30.
Well, normally I am too, and I was watching Lolita Loca. They're a cruising channel, and I literally would like fell asleep at like 6:30 and woke up like 15 minutes ago. At some point, instead of texting "I love you" to Sam, I go "I live you."
Oh my gosh. I accidentally, and this was like a year or so ago, I was just I was talking to some friends like in a group chat or something. Mm-hmm. And instead of, I was trying to say I live something, but I guess like it auto corrected to I love you. It did not go over well.
That's funny.
You've got like, yeah, it didn't go over well. They're like, what? No.
That's hilarious. That's actually funny. That's something that I would do.
Oh, and another thing that I accidentally type half the time, instead of saying live stream, I accidentally say love stream.
Woo!
That's a
What do we
whole
do?
nother ballgame. I've done that a lot too. I'm like, oops.
That's funny. All right. I will change coffee corner to daily at 7 a.m.
What were you planning on doing?
every Wednesday at 6:30.
And you should do it daily.
I can do that. I'm normally awake anyway.
Hey, Birdwell. So here's the thing with that though, is like in the mornings, I'm working, right? And it's so quiet. The kids are still asleep. I want something to listen to. I usually go to It's Pat. He's in the parks live streaming. But he doesn't interact with chat. And then I also go to another live streamer who pretty much live streams every morning from the park too. They like to do rope drop.
Okay.
And they also, and that one, she only interacts with the people that are green on her screen, which means members.
Right.
People that pay for a membership, and they like talk about different things, and I'm like, well, what's that mean? What's that mean? And then the people in the chat they're like, oh, you have to be a member to know that. And I'm like, why are you alienating everybody? I'm not going to pay for a membership to a group who's alienating people that aren't in the group.
No, that's not cool.
So I'll listen to them, and I just don't interact in their chat. And that's what I do in the mornings when I'm working. I mean, I'm actually working. I'm not working. I'm actually reviewing a file right now. So.
Oh yeah, I can do. I'm typically awake anyway. I just, with it, I didn't know if people would care to hear me rambling about nonsense at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning.
People like to hear everything. Welcome in Walking with the Woods.
Hey, Nick. Nick is one of my YouTube friends. His channel is Walking with the Woods, and he is over in the UK. And he does a lot with like Alton Towers, and so it's been really cool like to watch some of his live streams, because he would usually go live like when I was awake, getting up to go to school, with the time difference. And so I would watch some of his live streams while I was getting ready to go to school.
Yeah, people want to watch anything. People just want the human interaction, whether or not that's actually actual human interaction or virtual. It's craved. So if you're going to interact with your chat, then people will come and watch, which actually makes me think of something. So I don't know if you can see my hair. I haven't washed it in when did I wash it? I washed
Friday.
it.
You watched it Friday because you said you hadn't Thursday, and then for Friday's live stream you had.
Yeah. So last time I watched it was Friday. I'm getting my hair done tonight. And I've already decided that I'm going to have the lady do like a before and after of my hair in like a video, so I can have it on the reel. But I had thought, like, I wonder if they would let me live stream it, and would anybody be interested? And if I do live stream it, it's not going to be on YouTube because it's so hard to do that from your phone. It would be like on Instagram, but I had thought about it, and I'm like, should I not? I don't know. And I almost live streamed while I was at Dollywood Splash Country on Saturday.
You should have.
My deciding factor, and as I didn't even post my stories either, my deciding factor of that, and I was very vague about where I was, is because I was with my family, and I didn't want to run into anyone that I might have known or through the internet while I was with my family. And I wasn't just with my children.
You were with extended family.
I was with my sister and my brother and his kids. So I was like, I'm not going to live stream. I'm not even going to post it on my stories. However, I did last night. I posted all the stuff that I recorded from it on my stories last night. So it was a couple of days later, but I do typically like to do it in real time because that's what people want to see. But I wasn't comfortable with that. And when I did post stuff, I didn't even put my location. I actually made hashtags that seemed a little bit confusing. I did hashtags of where I was, and I did hashtags of like Volcano Bay, so that people wouldn't know exactly where I was. And then when I got home, like the next day, I went in and I tagged the locations and fixed the hashtags.
Yeah, I get it. I know that's one of the things that I think I've heard like Tim and Jen talk about, the trackers, that, you know, you can tell that they're talking to someone, but you're like, who are they talking to? And then they'll go, and the next day they're like, oh, if you, you know, we didn't really film much of such and such area because we happened to be with Jen's family or my family, or we had some other family in town, and they have expressed that they don't wish to be in our vlogs. So it's, you know, as a creator, we pretty much open up our lives as much as we feel comfortable to everyone on YouTube for people to watch, people to comment on, people to scrutinize. And not everyone wants to be scrutinized that way, or they don't want their family, their whole lives on online.
Yeah. And what's sad about that though is like people say if you don't want to be scrutinized, then don't be on social media, but they don't know how much it affects you. And they also don't know how much the lack of something affects you. I guess a good example would be like you have friends that contact you all the time, and then you have mutual friends that you are no longer mutual friends with, and then you don't say anything, but then somebody says something to those mutual friends, and those mutual friends don't treat you the same anymore. But for me, I'm such a private person that I won't go to those mutual friends and be like, look, what's up? Why aren't you treating me this like you used to? Because I already know the answer. And I don't want to start anything that might cause drama or whatever. And and this is like personal experience. Like everything for me in that department, I'm just trying to stay in communication with them in the best way possible without I don't know, getting into any kind of drama per se. And I don't mention the person. I don't talk about it. I comment on all their stuff because I still really care about them. And the responses I get are nothing. And if you think derogatory comments on your social media is affecting you in some sort of way, friendships that are falling apart are even worse. Oh no, I'm gonna cry.
Oh no. Well, for those of you who don't know, the Hall Family Adventures hasn't always been the channel name. My channel name actually started out with, it was Paper, Scissors, and Vacations Oh My. And last year, about March, the group of community that I'd kind of built started not talking to me, started really backing away, started doing a lot. And I was trying to figure out what was going on. And finally, somebody mentioned to me and told me this whole story about how I said a word, and the word was networking. I worked in an office, and I'm like, networking is not a bad thing. Networking is when you you're working with other people, you're doing this, you're doing that. And they're like, oh, no. On YouTube, network means that you participate in sub for sub. And I went,
that's not what that means.
huh?
That's not what that means.
And I went, how can, I said, you can't have one word mean something else. Oh, but it does. And you've offended somebody. And I went, who have I offended? And they told me. And they're like, you have to go apologize to them. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. Like,
I will say this. It's a good thing that they told you who you offended, because like I've asked, and I get it. Some people have relate confidence in one another and they don't want to repeat it. But I've had a friend tell me, so-and-so or somebody said this about you and they don't like you. And I'm like, well, I need to know who it is so I can know what kind of interaction I had with them for them to not like me. And we shouldn't care if people like us or not. We really shouldn't, but we do. That's how it goes.
Hey, Student Girl Travels, welcome in. Oh, welcome. Thank you for being a member of our adventure group.
Great. So I think it's really good that that person told you who you offended. However, I think that if those people or that person actually got offended, that they maybe should have said something to you directly. And also you could have the opportunity to explain yourself of, first of all, the word networking is not a derogatory term. You network in your job to succeed, to get noticed by others, to advance in your job. You should treat YouTube the same way. Network is a communication between one another and building a relationship. Networking is not sub for sub.
No.
And I am totally against sub for sub. But
agreed.
I'm also totally against fake watchtowers. Like people asking you, like asking for you to go put something on, play it in the background and mute it. That's not okay. If you want to sit there and play it in the background with the sound up so you can hear it, so you can interject if you choose to, that's cool. But I hate it when people are like, yeah, just go put their playlist and put it on mute. To me, that's not cool. For one, though it helps your watch hours to have that playing in the background, if you don't interact with the video, it's actually hurtful. So to put something on mute and put it in the background is not actually helping you. It's actually hurting you.
So I messaged the person and they're like, you haven't done anything. And I'm like, okay, that's what I thought. And so I'm like, I'm sorry if I did something. They're like, you're fine. You haven't done anything. I said, okay. So, and then this whole other thing where several other channels started talking about it. I didn't know because I wasn't watching the lives. Either some people say my name was mentioned, some people say that my name wasn't mentioned.
If it was on a live, it wasn't mentioned. No one in the community mentions other people's names on the live in a derogatory term.
So it was a live, so I'm going to assume that not. But I guess there was enough information that people guessed it was me then, because all of a sudden, like I lost a ton of subs, and a live stream that I had helped build, I was kicked out of.
Yeah.
And it was, I dealt with this all of last year, pretty much, and it happened right at the beginning of the pandemic.
You got really quiet on social media, and I wasn't really sure why, but I had heard about the situation you're talking about, not in the details, but I had heard in some form of the situation you were talking about, and I didn't understand it, but I never said anything because I'm not that type of person, but I also never discounted you or anything like that.
Right. So I literally just I stopped live streaming because I felt like it was I felt like anytime I did anything, I was being judged by this certain group of people, and it didn't matter what I did or what I said, I was going to be judged. And I lost, if I had every subscriber I had at last year before that point, I would already be at 1K because I lost 100 subscribers in a day.
That's crazy. And the thing is, it's like saying things like that. Why is this thing not working? Saying things like that, true or not, is gonna hurt the person's integrity and everything. It's just so freaking hurtful to that person. And what's sad is like they don't think it's going to be hurtful they think it's going to be hurtful in the YouTube social media community. I don't know if we said good morning to Sooner Girls Travels, but good morning. She saw your post. Okay. She saw your post on Facebook. Wise words. Yeah. We're having a heart to heart right now.
We are having heart to heart today.
What people don't realize is that things that you say on social media, it's not just a social media world. It's not like, oh, I can say this and it won't affect that person. Not only does it affect them personally, but it can affect them professionally, whether it's YouTube profession or their actual profession, because companies aren't stupid. They know people have social media. They're checking their social medias. Yep. They know what's going on. And if you put something like that, something out there in the world like that is damaging, it's not just damaging to their ego or their emotions or their psyche, it's also damaging to their livelihood. And to me, that's not cool.
The school knows that I have a YouTube channel, and the only reference that's ever been made to it is they're like, you know that you can't film the kids, right? And I go, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, you realize that if I'm filming a parade, there's going to be, and it's in town, there's a potential for kids to be in it. They're like, as long as it's not during school hours, there's nothing that's going to, like, we can't say anything. If it's during school hours, then we'll be having chats. I'm like, I don't film during school hours. I'm working during school hours. Now, I will say this. I was waiting on the bus at our elementary school, and the way our school sits, there's like this vortex right here. And when it gets really windy, it will spin leaves in a circle, the way that the wind hits in this particular area. I thought it was cool, so I videoed it. I was nervous about it. So I went into the school principal and I said, I filmed this because I thought it was really interesting the way that the wind hits in that corner. There's no kids. It doesn't show the school. Is it okay to post? And he went, yeah. I said, okay. I didn't want to get in trouble. And because I was not supposed to be recording during school hours, I wanted to have permission to post it. But yeah, I think I went live by myself a little bit after that happened. Like, I totally I changed the name of my channel. I literally,
I had actually wondered why you changed the name of your channel. But I get it.
I wanted away from
the toxicity. Yeah.
Right. And so I changed my name. It was Life with Lena. And still, I didn't live stream. I think one of the first times I actually live streamed, I live streamed some 4th of July fireworks, but I really didn't talk. It was just from my phone.
Yeah.
The first time I think I was on a live stream was with you on New Year's Eve.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
The makeup live stream?
Mm-hmm. Because I was literally sitting with Sam in tears, going, "What do I do? What do I do? What if this is some sort of trick? What if this is some sort of ploy?" And he goes, "You can't believe the worst in people before you even done something."
No, so
And
I'm
so
probably I would consider myself. I mean, I'm a grumpy person. I know that for sure. That's just me. But I would consider myself probably the least judgmental person I've ever met, and I've met myself. I'm not a judgmental person. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I don't care what other people say about people. I don't want to hear what other people have to say about other people. I'm okay listening if somebody needs to vent, but I don't want people I don't want people thinking I'm going to take sides, because I never do, until I've been burned. And if I've been burned, then I become nasty.
So literally, and then I still think it took a while to get back into where I live streamed on my own. Yeah. And even then, I started up doing a crafting stream again. And literally, I've crafted a little bit, but Sam keeps going, "Honey, why aren't you crafting anything? You've got a brand new Cricut maker. You've got all the supplies. You've got all this. Why aren't you making anything?" And I think it's because I'm still gun shy.
Yeah.
To that, if I'm not paying attention over here, something's going to happen. Something's going to come up. Something's going to explode if I'm not aware of everything going on at every single moment.
And that sucks.
And here's the deal. It's you, and it's Crystal, and it's Sammy, and I love you three to absolute pieces, and I'm still wigging out.
Well, I know you don't have to worry about me.
Oh, I know. I don't have to worry about any of you three. And it's still, before I get on to live stream with that craft stream, I almost have a panic attack over it. And
are you afraid somebody's going to come in the chat that you're not sure of that should, and you won't be able to control a situation?
I wonder if that's it.
Well, so here's the thing with that, though. You have the rights to be able to block somebody from communicating in the chat. You have the ability to remove their comments. The only thing you don't have the ability to do is to keep them from watching.
Right.
And as long as you don't care what they think because they've burned you already for whatever reason, then don't be afraid to be you.
And I've got good mods. So I know, and I know I can say something, because for those of you that don't know, haven't live streamed using StreamYard, we do have what's called a private chat, and the only people who can see it are those who are on the live stream. So I know I can go into private chat and say, "Hey, so-and-so said hi in the chat. I don't know if I can trust them being here. We need to just keep an eye on it, act normal." And I know I can say that, but it's getting it from here that's speaking it to getting it up to here to process through my brain.
I get it. I get it. Believe me.
And the end of August, there is a YouTube meetup in Branson. And I told Sam, I want to go. And he's like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Last time you met up with people, a couple months later, they ruined things for you."
That sounds like me.
And I'm like,
mine wasn't even a couple of months. Mine was literally like the next day.
I'm like, you know what? I have to give people, I can't live in fear. I have to be able to get past what happened. And I think it's a good way to help myself do that.
Yeah.
And I said, I think the plan is, they're going to get up Saturday morning and go to Silver Dollar City. We're not real huge Silver Dollar City fans, so we weren't going to go to the morning stuff anyway, because we're going to be getting up to drive there Saturday morning. We were able to, we had planned before we knew that this meetup was happening. We were actually going to go to Branson the following weekend, which is Labor Day weekend, and go see our friends Amber and Matt, who own a show in Branson. And I actually called the tourism office that I booked my tickets through, because the one I get commissioned as a travel agent on. And I said, hey, is there any way that we can move the tickets from this date to this date? And they're like, yeah, sure, that's not a problem. Do you still want front row seats? I said, yeah. So while they're at Silver Dollar City and doing kind of whatever, taking a break in the afternoon, Sam and I are going to kind of get there, wander around the outlets a little bit, maybe play some mini golf, have lunch, and we're going to go see the show. And when the show's over, it's going to be about 4. And think we're supposed to have like dinner like at 5 or something that night. So we'll get to do the big dinner hangout in the evening. And I mean, it's Kimberly and Danny from Griswold Family Vacay. It's Blaine from Blaine Riley Creative Travels. It's Shari from Shari Awesome Sunset Travels, and others in the kind of Branson area. So I am excited about it because it's a different direction.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly. Getting ready to head out to work. Hope everyone is having a good day so far. We are. I'm spilling my guts today.
I kick-started that. Sorry.
Yeah, she did. It's okay. Maybe it'll help.
Maybe.
But Sam and I love going to Branson, and I think Sam's concern is that if something happens with this group of people, it's going to make me not want to go to Branson. And I'm like, no, because I still have a desire to go to the theme parks. It's not like that ruined my desire to go to the theme parks. It ruined my desire to go to the theme parks and see people. I have a trip in September that I have been very, very vague about when I'm going. But I still will go to Branson. Branson for us is a 6-hour drive. We can get up on a Saturday at if he wakes up at normal time to go to work, which is like 4:00 in the morning, if we get up and on the road by 4:30, we're going to be there around lunch, do some stuff for a while, and come home.
When it comes to meetups, so I'm not going to give time frame or anything, just to kind of keep people's privacy private, whatever. But I met up with a group of people early in the day, and they're YouTubers. So I met up with them early in the day, and we hung out like all afternoon, like all day, really. We had a great time. It was fantastic. And then I was with someone else. Someone else was with me. like we were at the parks, and they wanted to go ride something that the other group didn't want to ride. So I was like, okay, we're going to go ride this and we'll meet back up with you later. Well, by the time I met back up with them later, and it was much later because we rode like 3 or 4 rides, and we went into a store to look around and do some shopping. So by the time I went back to meet back up with them, another person was there, another YouTuber was there, and it got weird. Like the meetup got weird. So we rode a ride. We hung out with them just a little bit, and then we went on and did our own thing because it was weird. And that's the one I'm talking about, that it was like when you said you had a meetup before and then, a couple of months later, everything went weird. Well, this was pretty much an immediate weird. And these are the friends that I mentioned earlier that just stopped talking to me. And I was supposed to meet up with one of them later on that week, and they completely blew me off. And I was supposed to meet up with them again the next time I went down there, and they completely blew me off. And they don't communicate with me on social media anymore. If I comment on their things, they'll like the comment. They won't respond, and other than like, thank you. But they were my friends, and they were my friends long before the person that showed up was friends with them. And it's like being alienated at that point. So you're just like, you don't know what to do.
Kelly says, what's in Branson? Is that Silver Dollar City? Yes, Kelly. Silver Dollar City is in Branson. A lot of people really like it. It is, I will say, it is not it's not fluffy person friendly. I am a very fluffy person, which is why I love the rides at Disney, because they are fluffy people approved. Universal, not so much.
Oh gosh, Universal, not so much.
Sam is 6'4", and I mean, he's starting to get a little bit of a belly, but I mean, he's Italian, so it's bound to happen at some point. But even he has issues getting on some of the rides at Universal. I'm like, okay. But
hey, Christian.
Yeah, Christian, it's never you, and you are still my friend. Thank you. And you're Christy's friend too. Yay. I can't wait to see your video that comes out about where his disc jabber's been. It took
I know. He was like, he got all this hype up, and we thought we were going to find out last week. I was like, crap, Christian. Why didn't you tell him? What the crap?
We had to send a video to him because he's going to put this copulation together of where do we think Disc Jabbers has been. And it took me like 5 takes to not bust up laughing in the middle of it and like be able to keep a straight face. I'm like, say it like you're talking to one of your students and you're not trying to laugh.
I was going to say something. What was I going to say? Oh, you were talking about like fluffy people. Okay. Yes. I've been fluffy in the past.
Fluffy.
I have been fluffy in the past. You can go look at my older YouTube videos.
You are not fluffy like I am fluffy. You are cute fluffy. I am. You are cute fluffy. But continue.
So I'm in an adults only Disney chat, meaning they don't want you to chat about children or anything like that, in Facebook. And yesterday, someone posted, what ride should I avoid as a poo-sized person? And I mean, I wasn't trying to be offensive by any means. I've been fluffy, so I know. And I said that the only ride I have issues with is Space Mountain. I said, I'm 167 pounds. I'm 5'4", and I think that ride's super uncomfortable. I have a hard time with that ride. So I said, anyone over 130 and taller than 5'4" is probably going to have issues with that ride. I got attacked in that chat. And I'm like, and they were like, well, go look at her profile. She's ignorant, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, dude, I'm not ignorant. I've ridden this ride at 211 pounds. I've ridden this ride at 160 pounds. I've ridden this ride at 150 pounds. It's uncomfortable every single time.
It's not that it's not friendly for a poo-sized person. Hello, Eagle VP. Welcome in. Glad that you're here.
He says Space Mountain would be uncomfortable for olive oil.
No kidding. Well, and it's not so much like there's room in the car. Though if you've never been to Walt Disney World and you've only experienced Space Mountain at Disneyland, you sit in a row, one person per seat, as opposed to Disneyland, where I believe you sit like more people across, similar to Splash Mountain. It's not the getting down into it that's the problem. It's getting back up, because you have to maneuver your knees so weird to get out of it. And if you are trying to haul yourself and all of the fat that you're carrying around too,
and any bag that you may have that won't fit down in there, you literally have to hold on to it.
It is not I compare trying to get out of Space Mountain to eating a cherry pit, because eating a cherry is one of the most ungraceful foods you can eat, unless you own a cherry pitter, and I believe 90% of the world does not. You're literally biting a cherry in half, chewing around the seed, spitting it into your hand, and throwing it into a cup or a plate or the trash can, whatever you're doing with your cherry seeds. It's so ungraceful. It's one of the most ungraceful foods to eat. I compare getting out of Space Mountain at Disney World to that. It is the most ungraceful ride to get out of. Even Splash Mountain is better than it is.
I even have a hard time getting in it. I actually broke a pair of ears trying to get in it last time I rode it. 6'4" and always think my head is gonna get taken off. Oh, I feel that way being 5'4". Like I'm like even though it's only enclosed down here, the track itself, you're like, whoa, those rafters are really close to my head. Yeah, the second seat has a bit more room. You can stretch your legs out behind the other person. Also, if you're riding in the very front car, which is weird to me, that is the roughest seat on those, in the very front car. Whereas, like, if you're riding in the very front car on, like, Rock and Roller Coaster, it's a breeze. But if you ride in that back car, man.
And see, I'm not, and this goes back to Silver Dollar City. I'm not a huge roller coasters person. I'm terrified of heights that I can see. Okay, Kelly, have a great day at work. Bye. Thanks for
Kelly.
I love, and because Sam laughs at me. I do not like Tower of Terror. The drop sequence freaks me out. But I could sit and stay on the Mummy at Universal and ride it in circles. And so, do you realize how high you are going? I'm like, but here's the thing. I can't see it. It's dark. It's black. I can't see it. Even if I were to open my eyes, I know it's going to be black. And so people are like, oh, we're going to get you on Slinky Dog. I'm like, no, you're not, because I can see how high that is. It's a kid's coaster. I said, I don't care if it's the last coaster on Earth. And if I don't ride it, then we're all going to die. Sorry, I'm going to end the world.
It's a very smooth coaster.
It's what people are like, but I can see how high I am. It's a thing. I can't even look out the window on a plane until we are up and above the clouds. I know we're really high. We're above the clouds, but I haven't watched going up. Literally, I will say, if you watch some of my travel videos, if I'm by myself, like the way my hand moves because I'm like, oh, I'm not there. I'm not there. My phone is like all over the place because I'm sitting here watching a movie on my tablet and ignoring this. If Sam's with me, he'll video it for me. But I can't do it. And so it's a mental thing. If I can't see it, I don't know how high I am. With and so all of Silver Dollar City's coasters are outdoors. So there's no way that I could do that. And Sam, while he loves coasters, he's like, I didn't come here just to ride roller coasters. I came here to spend time with you. I'm not going to leave you behind while I go ride a coaster. And I'm sitting here going, go ride the dang coaster. Guess what? I found a margarita stand. It's right here. I will be right here when you get back.
That's funny.
So I'm like, go enjoy, have fun. So, but Sam's idea of enjoying and having a good time is that as we get to spend that time together, not him going off and doing other things while I'm just sitting somewhere. So
that's sweet.
I know he's a good guy. I'm very lucky. And he said to tell everyone hi.
Hi, Sam.
So, but yeah, so I do feel better now that that's all off of my brain.
Talking is sometimes good.
I mean, and I've talked about it before, but I think I was still very angry and I was still very, very confused. And I've just had to realize that one, I got invited to a live stream really fast when I started live streaming. And afterwards, talking to Sam, he's like, you had a live stream that was very similar to something that channel was already doing. I'm like, okay. He's like, the only reason they may have invited you is so that you didn't have the live stream of that of your own. And because they felt like you were competition.
But nobody's competition in the community. That's
and
the
I'm
thing.
like, I said, well, I wouldn't think that would be I'm like, sometimes you just never know. But I'm like, I don't think that was it. But I mean, I don't know what their thought process was, so I can't say for certain. But I am excited that maybe next Sunday for Craft and Chat, I might actually find some sort of project to work on because I can.
Yeah.
I've got good mods. You're one of my mods, and Crystal's one of my mods, and Sammy's a mod. And I wouldn't put you as a mod if I didn't trust that you were going to keep the channel safe. So, oh, hey, Kelly, I'm back. I'm going to listen to you while I drive. Well, I hope we're entertaining. So it was good. I'm glad that it forced a chat this morning. But yeah, I will do this. I will get up and I will do this every morning at 7:00. That gives me a little time to sleep in if I so choose, and then have a coffee corner, and it'll just be a daily live stream while I'm not in school.
Sounds good.
I'll actually get up and out of pajamas. People are like, does that lady ever change her clothes? But like the other night, Josh messaged me. Josh goes to Disney. He's like, hey, do you want to live stream with me? I'm feeling like a live stream. And well, actually, the first question that he asked was I going live? It was Sunday. And I said, no, it's a holiday weekend. And we typically don't stream on the holiday weekends. He goes, oh, okay, I was feeling like a live stream. I go, well, why don't you live stream? It's like, well, I don't really want to live stream by myself. I'm like, I'll jump on, depending on how long you're wanting to live. And so it was probably like 8:00 my time. He's like, you still awake? We're on a live stream? So I was once again in my pajamas.
That's funny.
I think this lady never changes her clothes. You catch me either in the morning or at night. But I will say that this is one of the lounge shirts from Disney from Halloween, and it is so super comfortable. And Disney leggings the holiday ones, not so much, but like their generic ones make you feel really good about yourself.
They're oversized.
They are a typical, like I'm wearing an XL in the leggings, and I'm wearing an XL in the leggings. It's a good boost to your ego.
Yeah, their leggings certainly are.
And they're super comfortable. I will say that they will keep your legs warm. If you are a person that like you get cold a lot, their leggings may seem thin, but they are warm.
Yeah, they are. Oh. Eagle VP said, does sound good. I think to the morning streams is what they were responding to.
Awesome. Well, we're probably going to go for about another 10 minutes till about 9:30, and then I'm going to tackle the room of which I am sitting. You guys see some of it depending on what angle I'm at, but I really need to clean my craft room. It needs it. One of the things that it just gets pushed to the side during the school year is a lot of housework. Because of my schedule of when I get up and when I get home. And so one of the things I want to get done this summer is like deep clean the house. And I also, like towards the beginning of August, want to do some meal prepping. I think I talked about this maybe last week. Because I know you mentioned the meal subscription service you use, Christy. Mm-hmm. I want to get some things like prepped and ready to go. Like one of the things that I'm consistently doing is I'm spending money on a muffin or a donut at Casey's, which I know is completely unhealthy. But when you're running in to grab caffeine to get on a bus at 6:45 in the morning, all your body is saying is feed me sugar, feed me caffeine, wake me up some way. But I've been searching on Pinterest for freezer meal ideas, and one of them was homemade sausage and bacon sandwiches. You take the bacon and you weave it together, and then you air fry it so it's not sitting in all that grease. So it makes it a little healthier. You can do the same with the sausage. You just slice open your English muffins. You put the sausage. You cook up. What they did, which I thought was completely smart, was they have one of those. I call them professional cookie sheets because they have the bigger lip on them. Some people call them a jelly roll pan. They whisk up all of their eggs and they dump them in the pan and they bake them. And they go and they take some sort of jar or cup that has like a good like opening on it. After they've baked the eggs, they take this cup and they cut the circles out of them.
Okay. And
they take the eggs just go on the sandwich. They do all the eggs. Then whatever's left, she's like, yeah, I just kind of take whatever's left and chop it all up and have it for my, for breakfast or for a snack or for try to, can I layer this piece and match it with this piece to make an extra, sandwich. And then you wrap them in saran wrap, wrap them in foil, and you can put them in a Ziploc bag and they go in the freezer. And then it's when you obviously take the foil off, and the saran wrap, you pop it in the microwave for, I think it's 2 minutes, and you have a hot sandwich to go out the door. And I'm like,
I need this.
This is amazing. This is something for someone like me.
It's been a while since I made keto lasagna, but it's so good, and it literally will last you all week in meal preps. And like the egg, where it says you bake it, you literally take a cookie sheet, like a large cookie sheet that has the edges, and scramble some eggs, like, like scramble it up, mix it up, but don't cook it, and then put it in the pan, and then you bake it, and it's a super thin layer. And after it's cooled, you would cut like lasagna slits into it and put it in the pan and then make your lasagna. Yeah.
Wow.
It's really good. It's really filling, and it's not too eggy because you're making really thin slits of it. And you also add, I'm trying to remember. It's some sort of seed, but I can't remember what it was. I'd have to look in my cabinet.
Sesame seed?
No, it's not sesame. It's like, I don't know. It's one of the seeds. It's one of the seeds that goes on everything bagel, but I can't remember what it's called.
Poppy seed?
Maybe. No, I don't think it's poppy seed though. I don't know. But it's really good. And I remember every time I heated it up at work, somebody would be like, "Wow, that smells so good. What is it?" And I was like, "It's keto lasagna." They're like, "What? Is that possible?" It's totally possible.
Yeah. One of the other things I want to do, I know, and Dollar Tree has the perfect size pans, because I used to do this over the summer when Sam was full-time in the military. And Chrissy, you'll understand this because you cook for yourself as, the only person doing keto. Cooking for one person is extremely hard.
Yeah. So when you do, you always end up with extra food. So you better make something you like because you're eating that all week.
Exactly. And so what Sam and I would do, because typically for him, he had in the National Guard, typically he would have 1 weekend a month and then 2 weeks in actually this time frame.
Yeah.
For his annual training, his drill time, his active duty time. And I'm like, I didn't want to just grab Wendy's or Sonic or whatever every day for 2 weeks. It gets really old really fast because that's the only things we have in town. And so like Sam is Italian, so he makes things like lasagna and manicotti and things like that. And so we would buy their Dollar Tree. And they're real small pans. He would make enough extra that when he was putting together the pan, he would pop out one of these little pans, put it together, right down on the cardboard, and he'd put saran wrap in the pan, over the pan, not in the pan, over the pan, and tape it. And then on the cardboard top, he'd write me the heating instructions. It can go in frozen, bake it X amount for X amount of time. And so all I'd have to do when I got home from work at 4:00 was preheat the oven, get out whatever I wanted, take off the saran wrap, pull off the directions, pop it in the oven, and I had like a meal ready to go. So my goal, one of the things I really want to do before this school year starts, because I already have been informed I'm going to be on the bus again, that I want to have some of those ready to go. Because when Sam gets home from work between 3:45 and 4:00, I'm about half an hour to 45 minutes behind him getting home. So Sam's like, I can preheat the oven. I can put in whatever you've put together as long as they're put together, because he's also going to school full time. So one of my plans for this summer is to at least do two weeks worth of meals, and then every payday prep the meals, put them in the pans, let them cool, and pop them into the freezer. That way all we have to do is heat and go. And I mean, best of intentions over here, because it was hard getting home from school and at 5:00, and I'd been awake.
Have a good day, Kelly.
Oh, awesome. Have a great day. Have a good day at work. Hope nothing crazy happens for you.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I saw was these breakfast sandwiches, and I thought, oh, that would be so easy to do and prep ahead of time. And so then it was from one thing to the next to the next. It kind of became a snowball effect. So one of the things that I might do some morning on Coffee Corner is set a chat with you guys, and like I'm scrolling through Pinterest. Hey, how does this recipe sound? Hey, how does this recipe sound? Because Sam's like, your Pinterest cooking again. Oh no, I'm scared. What are you gonna make me? Sometimes I find really weird recipes just to mess with them.
It's so funny because the family will smell the food I'm making and they'll be like, ooh, that smells so good. I want to try it. And then they're like, oh, never mind. No, I don't.
What?
Oh, it's because mine's keto. And they automatically assume keto means gross. Keto just means low sugar or no sugar. And not everything you make has sugar in it in general. So you think if the hair salon lets me go live, I should go live tonight?
You should.
I'll ask. They'll probably say no because it's a business. But I could ask. I need my hair done so bad. It's been.
How's your head?
The scab is still there. And I was messing with it last night to see if I could just lightly touch it and it fall off, but no.
Make sure and tell them about it.
Oh, yeah, I will. It's obviously not ready to come off yet if it's not coming off.
Mm-mm. You bonked yourself pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
Well, if nothing else, if they won't let you live stream, you can set up your phone and like record it and then edit later and do a video.
Yeah. Well, I probably wouldn't do like a full-on video. Just do like clips to make a reel. Oh, no, that's not why.
So yeah, I need to color mine again, but I think I'm gonna wait. I need to talk to my hairstylist because I want to get it colored before we go on vacation. But I also know that chlorine is damaging to colored hair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to come home with green hair.
Yeah, that's why I waited until now to do mine because of, well, not really. I mean, I waited. It's been a year and a half. But I didn't do it last week because of our trip.
So I need to find out from her, like, okay, if we're leaving on the 18th and like the evening of the 18th, I could be in the pool. How many weeks ahead do you need me in? So if I want to color my hair before we go. So
I think it's about 2 weeks, but don't quote me on that.
I think it's 2 to 3 weeks because I know she's gonna laugh at me because we've had this conversation before, and I can't remember what we talked about. But yeah, I actually went blonde, like dark. We color stripped my whole head. It was like and if you've never seen someone who's had their hair color stripped, it turns out the color of my shirt.
Yeah, it turns orange.
Mm-hmm.
I went to, like, I've always gotten highlights in my hair, I usually do ombre now so it can go so long because it doesn't look like it's a drastic change. It's like a subtle change from dark to light. And that's because I get ombre. But before I used to get like highlights. And I went to a hairstylist because this was like 6 years ago, because mine was booked up. And this is why I always go to the same person. And she did my hair and it turned orange. I was like, my hair is not even naturally dark. How do you turn it orange? It was orange. Real orange.
Yes.
And I had to sit like that because she screwed it up. And once you screw it up, you can't really fix it immediately. You got to give it like 3 days at least of rest. So I had to sit there with like almost a week of orange hair.
Oh no.
I hated it. I was miserable. I was like, I couldn't look at myself in the mirror without crying. And I know that sounds like vanity, but
No, it doesn't. I mean, who wants to walk around like they're like an orange bunny?
yeah. And it's not like it's like ginger hair, like a redheaded person. It's straight up orange, like a Oompa Loompa orange. So it's definitely a hit to your like mental health.
Yeah.
And because and I don't want to call it ego because I don't feel like I have a big ego. Other people may disagree, but I don't feel like I do. But anytime something happens that you're dissatisfied with about yourself, it's emotionally damaging.
It is.
So
I agree.
and I don't consider it vanity. And that's the thing is like some people will criticize people and say you're vain, that's vanity or whatever. It's not. There are people that are, but like it's not. It's not vanity. It's not being vain by any means. I'm surprised that because the magical makeup with Christy for one thing, I'm actually surprised I haven't gotten negative feedback on it saying you're vain, you're just blah, whatever. I haven't. I was like, do you know how much it takes to put yourself out there? If you're a person that wears makeup regularly, to put yourself out there on social media without makeup on, it has nothing to do with vanity. It has more to do with your insecurities. And if you're able to overcome your insecurities enough to be on social media, like I was hesitant to post my videos from the water park. I didn't have any makeup on, and the light outside was harsh, so you could see all my sunspots on my face. And I was like, well, why would I not post it? People see me without makeup on all the time. And let's be real, I don't want people to think I'm fake by any means. I want people to know, hey, I put this makeup on. I like to do makeup. I like doing this, and I'm willing to let you see how I look without makeup on.
Yeah. Well, and then like me, it takes like when I first joined you permanently on the makeup stream, I didn't do makeup because I was so insecure with how I did makeup.
That's another thing. That's actually another reason why it took me so long to even do a makeup stream is because I was like, well, I don't want to be judged by all these people that actually do their makeup well. Because I never really thought I did well makeup. I thought I did decent makeup. And it wasn't until people were like, your makeup is so good that people actually think I do good makeup. They ask me for tips and I'm happy to give tips. But when people say, can you come do my makeup? I'm more like, I don't know, because your face isn't the same as mine. Your canvas isn't the same as mine.
Right.
It's a different canvas. I'm not sure I could do it justice.
Right.
You know your face better than anybody knows your face. So
I laugh, because I remember sitting there counting your makeup color, like how many eyeshadows you use. And I go from that to, now I'm trying to I'm straightening up my makeup area while we're chatting. And I've got 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 10 palettes now.
Out of 6 months.
In less than 6 months.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't right. It wasn't the beginning of the year when I started doing it. It was probably February or so.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's weird. It takes being comfortable with yourself to not wear makeup. It takes being comfortable with yourself to wear makeup. It's like, I don't know. And it's so weird because I've had people say, I wish I had your confidence. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Me confident? No, not hardly. I'm one of the most unconfident people, most self-deprecating people I know. no confidence whatsoever. And I mean, I guess not no confidence, because I wouldn't be able to, do a makeup stream if I didn't have any confidence. But
Right.
it takes a lot to gain confidence in yourself when you don't have the exact support system you need to have confidence in yourself.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I went from having like makeup in like so much random places to now my makeup bag is bulging and full.
Nice.
All my little palettes in there. These are my big palettes that just don't fit in there. But it sets together by my area right here, and I have my little mirror that I use. And it's funny, I when I go to work in the mornings, when I'm at school, I typically just do eyeliner. If I do anything else, the kids are like, "What's wrong with your face?"
And kids are so like, they don't think before they speak. So even if there were somebody that was trying to not hurt anybody's feelings or whatever, kids are not the ones for that.
No, they're not. Oh, ouch. Okay. I turned on the light.
I'm just leaving my light where it is.
Well, it was starting to, I wanted to be able to see because I am going to just continue to talk and clean.
Okay.
Because I can set right here and clean part of the area that I wanted to clean today.
I'm actually getting a whole lot done. It's so funny. I get more work done when I'm talking to somebody than when I'm sitting here trying to focus.
I agree. It when we lived out on Fort Lewis, when I will, like, I would go, yeah, I'm gonna clean my house today, and when my friends were like, yeah, sure, we're gonna go out and do something. I'm like, no, I really have to clean my house today. We've been going out and doing something every day. My house is a mess. Come over and hang out with me while I clean. And literally, I got more. Sam's like, wow, you were really like focused. I said, no, so and so is over, and they sat and drank coffee all day while I cleaned.
It's true. Hi, Theme Park Adventures.
That is Melanie. She is going to be a guest on my show. Okay, hold on just a second. I've got to take this call.
Okay.
It's all you.
Okay. All me. She even removed from the screen. Oh, cool. So it's all me. I hate being on live streams by myself. You probably wouldn't know that, but I do. It makes me nervous. I know. It's all you. Have fun. We were talking earlier just about our like insecurities in life in general, and I like being on a live stream by myself is something that makes me uncomfortable too. And yeah, I don't know why. It just does. Again, I feel like maybe there's too much dead air time and it makes me uncomfortable, and it makes me think that no one's interested in listening to what I have to say, but something along those lines. But here we are. Hopefully she comes back soon. You've been working on your budget and listening, right? Like listening to something or talking to someone while doing something is actually productive. I'm more productive when I'm talking to someone. I'll get on the phone with my boss and sit there and talk to him and work at the same time. And I'm way more productive that way too. She's back.
I'm back.
And almost done with this file. Makes me happy. I've been working on this file for like 3 weeks. You were ninja watching the whole time? Well, I saw your comments when you first came in, and then now it's Birdwell.
Okay.
So Melanie is going to be on. Is it a Melanie I know? It's not.
I don't know.
Is it Castle Chat or is it?
Yes, it's Castle Chat.
Okay. I need to get a guest from my next one, because my guest was supposed to be Caitlin, but Caitlin works at the time that we go on, so I don't know that she can still do it. I'm excited to get my hair done. It needs
I'm sure you are, especially if it's been over a year.
Year and a half.
Then yeah, I'd be excited too.
February of 2020 is the last time I had it done. Look, this is how far it's grown out. It's grown so much. And let me see if I got the email yet. I did an inquiry for a lash place, a lash studio here locally, to see if I can get my get some lashes sewn in. So we'll see. She hasn't emailed me back yet.
Well, everyone, I think I'm going to go ahead and end our stream here. I have housework to get done, and it's not all right here beside me. So we will be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for another version of Coffee Corner. Christy, do you want to join me?
Send me the invite. If I don't have any meetings or something, I can.
All right. I will just make sure to send you the invite in the mornings or I'll send it to you tonight for tomorrow. So thank you everyone who's come and hang out with us today. We will see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic rest of your day.
Bye. Bye.